Hey guys, it's Danny Boy from Danland. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make the Danland background in Inkscape. So to start off with, you have to have Inkscape on your computer. I'm using Ubuntu, but you don't have to have Ubuntu, you can have Windows or Macintosh. It's a free download. I'll put the link in the description below. And yeah, basically when you open it, this is what it will look like. And so we're just going to go in and fine tune a few settings first. So go up into File and then Document Properties, and you can change the size of your page. So if you've used GIMP before or something like that, you'll be fairly familiar with this kind of process. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in my screen size, because that's the size that I want my final picture to be. And then I'm just going to go ahead and close up. And okay, so to start off with, we need to create some text. So we're going to use the text tool, which is over on the left hand side. And it's just this A here. And I'm going to have my text as Dan Land. And I'm going to change my font to a font called Babus New. I'll put the link in the description to that, because that's a really great font, especially for what we're doing. Okay, so I'm just going to go click the select tool on the left side, and I'm going to change the size of this text. So the best way to do this is just to click on the text just once with the select tool, and then you can drag the resize arrow, but yeah, and to keep it in proportion you have to hold the control key. So you just hold the control key and you can make it as big or as little as you want. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put that there. And now we're going to start with the actually no, I'll give you a rundown of the basic navigation controls in Inkscape. So to move around like this, you can either hold the mouse wheel key, or you can hold control and right click. That's how it works on mine. And to zoom in, it's the control and the scroll wheel, or control, I don't know what it is if you don't have a scroll wheel. Google it maybe. Yeah, and then yeah, so that's the basic navigation controls. I think, as I know them, Control Z undo and Control Shift Z to redo, or Control Y depending on what you're using, what operating system. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start the design. So to start the design, you click on your text and you go up to Edit, Clone, and then create tile clones, and this little window should pop up. So we're going to go into Shift, and these are basically all the settings that you want to kind of adjust your text. Actually, this probably doesn't make so much sense yet. We're going to go down to the bottom first, and we're going to adjust the width and the height of the clone area where the text will be cloned to. So I've got mine set up as the same width as my page, but I've got it larger in height than my page is. That's simply because, yeah, you'll see after why you need it like that. So I'm just going to go and click Create here, and you can see how it's tiled the word. So it's really squished at the moment. It's all like kind of stuck together. So we want to kind of space that out a bit. And the way to space it out is to adjust the Shift Y bit here, so put that at like 20, and then the Shift X, put that at like 20, and then you can either just press Create again, or you can remove it first and then press Create. So that's the way to do space. So I'm just going to go change that a bit, and maybe 5. I don't know, but yeah, you get the point. You can space it out like that. But yeah, as you might know, the wallpaper on Danland isn't just vertical, right? We've got to go that extra mile and make it rotated. So we're just going to go press remove. You have to remember to keep your text selected. If you don't keep it selected, then you won't be able to click this remove button. If that's the case for you, all you have to do is go and undo it. It's Control Z, or it's up in Edit and then undo. Yep, so I'm just going to go press remove, and I'm going to click on the text, and then I'm going to click on it again to show the rotating icons. But yeah, it's not a double click, because if you double click, it's editing text. So you just click and then click again, and then you can rotate it. And I'm just going to drag this handle, and that rotates the text. And I'm going to leave it like a bit up from the page, where the page is. Simply because it clones better that way, and then there's actual, like, the whole page is filled with text then. And it creates a better design and effect. And I'm just going to go and rescale this text just a bit smaller. When you guys are doing this, you're going to have to just mess around with the shift options a bit, because your text will be a different size to what mine is, and so you'll get a different result. So yeah, in this to clone this text that's rotated, it's a little bit trickier, because what you've got to do is you've got to change this one, and this one. So the Shift Y in per row, and Shift X in per column, and the Shift Y in per column. So the Shift Y is just the space out from up top to bottom, and the Shift X is to space it left to right, and then the Shift Y in per column is to fine tune it when you clone it. So if we just press create now, it kind of looks bad at the moment, just to be frank. So I'm gonna go change the Shift X to like 2 or something, maybe like less than that. You can add negatives as well if it's being a pain, which mine is at the moment. And you can go past 100 as well. You can go like 120 or like further. And okay, so I've got that at the moment, and I'm gonna just actually change the width here, because I want more text cloned on my page. And that's what's it doing? That's a pain. Okay, maybe 3,000. Yeah, there we go. So I've got more text, so it kind of fills my page. Alright, so I'm just going to fine tune this a bit until I kind of, oh, that's too far, get a result that I want. And that's what you guys have to do. So I don't know, yeah, and then so say that was the space you want. You might want this a little bit smaller here, and then you can basically fine tune this option here to make the text go up or down the way that you want it to. And that's where you have to change, like you might have to remove this and move this to a different place to make the text go better, and you might also have to change the height here to something larger so that you get a better effect on your page. So when we export this as a graphic, all you'll be able to see is the what's in the page, which is this border here that you can see. So yeah, anyway, so this is the image we'll be making. Yeah, the Solon in the background on Danland at the moment, and yeah, it's a bit lighter on Danland. This is the first one that I did, and yeah, so that's what our result's going to be in the end. So here's something that I did earlier, just so you guys don't have to watch me fiddle around as much. So after you guys have messed around with the settings a bit, and you've gotten the settings that you want, so I've got all these settings here. So this one's a fine tuner, this one's to go left or right, and this one's to go up or down. That's just the way it works when you rotate the text. But yeah, I've got my settings here, and what we want to do is we want to change some of the colors of the text. So if I just went here up to Objects, Fill and Stroke to change my color straight away, what would happen is that it wouldn't work, alright? And so what you actually have to do is you have to zoom out, control scroll wheel, and then just click and drag a box around all the text to select it all, and then go up to Edit and then Clone, and then unlink clones. And then so basically every piece of text on the screen is now an individual copy. So that allows you to play around with colors a bit. See, yeah, that worked there. So now you can kind of just change the colors. So like say I want that one to be blue, and then this one to be, I don't know, maybe green. You just kind of click and change the colors. I'm on wheel at the moment, and my fill is there. You can also change stroke to like whatever color and whatever thickness as well up here, so that you can, I don't know, make it stroked and stuff. You also add a bit of a blur if you want. Change the opacity so it's like how transparent it is or whatever. So say you had like a picture beneath the text, you could kind of make it show through the text. There's a lot of possibilities, and basically the sky's the limit. Your imagination defines you. Yeah, so yeah, you can just change the text color. I'm just gonna go play around with this, and I'll come back when I've got something. Okay guys, so what I did was I just changed all the text to grey first, and then I added my color. So now we're going to go ahead and just kind of zoom in, just get a better look, pan around a bit, and then we're going to go up to File, and then Export Bitmap. Yeah, so basically the way Inkscape works is it works on mathematical things called vectors, and so it doesn't matter how much you zoom in, like the image, it doesn't get pixelated. But to make an image that can be uploaded to like Facebook or whatever, or put it in the background of your website, you actually have to export it to what's called a bitmap, and that's when if you zoom into your image, it actually gets pixelated. So we're going to have to, we're going to go and export the image in this dialog here, File, Export Bitmap. And we're going to make sure page is selected, and then the width and height should be the same as what you put in at the start in document properties of the width and the height of your page. And we're going to go and change the location of where the file is saved. So I'm just going to put mine on the desktop. And so I'm going to save it as like danland.png. So you have to put in an extension. Yeah, I would suggest putting in PNG. It's a pretty good graphic file. And you could also probably put in JPG, but I would recommend PNG. That's just, yeah, you have to put the file extension in because that's the way it works. I'm not sure about Windows, maybe you don't, but yeah, see how you go. And then, okay, so we've got the path, and then all you have to do is press export, and then it exports it into the place that you chose it to save. So by default, Inkscape exports images with a transparent background, so like, yeah, a background without color. So I'm going to go back into document properties, and up here in background you can actually change what the background color is. Now it looks like it might be white, but it's actually not white. It actually just is transparent because there's a 0 here. So you have to go and drag this all the way up to 255, and that's when it's a completely solid background color. And so now we have a solid white background color, so when we export it, well, this is what it looks like at the moment. Oh, where am I? I'm lost. I have so many workspaces. There we go. Okay, so this is what it looks like at the moment, right? You see this black, this grey checkerboard background. That means transparency. And so we're gonna go back to Inkscape and re-export it because we've changed the background color now, and export it and replace. And then we're going to go back here, and now you'll be able to see that it has a white background, and it looks quite snazzy, if I do say so myself. I quite like it. I think it looks very nice, and yeah, that's how you make the Danland background in Inkscape. Yeah, the sky is the limit, guys. Your imagination defines your creation.